Hey fam, C to the MF&T Grommer here. In this video, we're going to get a look at the DHM Stage 3 kit. We'll have a quick overview of what's included in the package, and on the bike review, speedrun comparison to the DHM Stage 2 kit, and my final thoughts. This video took me forever to make, and if you care why, I'll share a little bit about that at the end of the video, so stay tuned if you're interested. What this video is not is an installation video. For an in-depth installation, check out Unknown Overland's video, link in the description below. So let's get started. Here's what shows up at your door when you order the DHM Stage 3 kit from dhmotoring.com. When you order the David Hugh Motoring Stage 3 kit or the high compression piston kit, you're going to get all this stuff that you see right here. With the exception of if you get the Stage 3 kit, you're also going to get the TB cam, which I have, it's already installed. So once I put in the high comp piston and now I've got the reflashed ECU for the piston, I'm gonna have the Stage 3 kit, and this is what I'm gonna test. So just going through this briefly, we've got head and base gaskets. We've got a Run DHM super cool sticker. We got the reflashed ECU for the Stage 3 kit, the high comp piston and the TB cam. It's also flashed for Chimera air intake and exhaust. Then you got the high comp piston. So this is new. He used to not have any markings on this. Now he's got, I don't know if you can see that, it says in on there now for intake, so you know which side goes where. Got the piston rings. And you got the little thing that holds the piston to the rod. And that's pretty much it. This little stack on top is what makes the compression a little bit higher, I think, because most pistons are flat. And then most pistons just have one row of these little holes where the oil comes through. This has got double. It's got two rows of these holes, so it's getting extra oil because it's going to be moving and being a little bit more violent in there with more compression. Not pictured, but another thing you need is an NGK CR9E6263 spark plug, and I got a couple of those just from O'Reilly, like $3.99 each. And then you also get these instructions from DHM. I've never done a piston replacement on a Grom before, but I did do a full top end on a Trail 90 once, and they're very similar. So I drank a Rockstar, watched Unknown Overland's video 3 times, took my time, and went for it. The most difficult and stressful part was correctly gapping the rings, where I made sure to go very slow and methodically. Orbiting the ring gaps correctly around the piston was a little stressful too. Everything else was relatively simple, just don't drop anything into your wide open case, and don't forget to reset the TPS and ECU. There's plenty of how-to videos on how to reset the TPS and ECU here on YouTube, so I'll link one in the description below. Before giving an honest bike review, I did the hardest thing I ever had to do. Ride the Grom nice and slow for 100 miles. Do you have any idea how hard it is to go from pegging her everywhere you go to riding it like a 70-year-old dude on a Vespa in some sleepy beach town? It takes laser focus. It's like telling a Jack Russell Terrier not to chase the squirrel that he sees. Everyone has different ideas on break-in. From multiple heat cycles, oil changes, and ride it easy for hundreds of miles to send it right out of the gate. I tried to find a place somewhere in the middle. I did several heat cycles where I started the bike, let it heat up for 5 minutes, then shut it off and let it completely cool. I then did 5 20 to 25 mile slow rides, making sure to vary the RPMs, but never give it more than 1/2 to 2/3 throttle. But after that 100 miles, it was on. Here's the on the bike review.
All right, everybody, DHM Stage 3 on the bike review is underway. Here in mid-November now of 2020, the year from hell. But you know what? Today we've been blessed with a beautiful day. Can't think of a better day to do a review. So let's go over the criteria for this non-biased as possible on the bike review. I'm going to compare the Stage 3 kit that's now in here to what it used to feel like, which was the Stage 2, because after all, this is a video that is a comparison of the Stage 2 kit, well, a comparison between the Stage 2 kit and the Stage 3 kit. What I notice is you still have that crazy increase in power, a pretty significant increase in power, starting at about 7,000 RPMs. I mean, you can hear the difference in the motor. It actually sounds different. You still have that, but it's just amplified. So watch here, wide open. Holy crap. It's definitely louder. Dude, it's faster. Significantly faster than Stage 2. How much, I don't know, but it's faster. I'm also on 1 bar of fuel, so she's a little lighter, but it's not... That shouldn't make this much of a difference. I mean, the Stage 3 kit so far is significant. It just pulls hard after about 7,000, which it already did with Stage 2, but the Stage 3 amplifies it. So let's do a pull from the bottom, starting in first gear for you guys. And I'm sitting up, by the way. I'm not in a tug. The power seems to come on between about 6,500 to 7 grand, and it pulls hard up until about 9 to 9,500. It kind of falls flat. It'll go to 10. That's one of the things that DH Motoring does, is he unlocks the ECU to be able to rev out to 10.5 to take advantage of that power band that he gives you with the cam and the high comp piston. The high comp piston just kind of gives everything a little bit more power, and the cam just gives you that ideal timing, and it gives you that power band at the top from 7 to 10. So that's why he gives you more power all the way, or that's why he gives you more RPM, so you can take advantage of more power. But to be honest, it kind of falls flat after about 9,500. I mean, it still pulls, but ideally I think you'd shift it 9 or 95, which I'm going to try to do in the speed run. I'm going to do a series of speed runs, and then I'm just going to take the best one. I'm going to time them all in post and see how I did. That was a third gear pull for you guys. Do you guys want to know what the perfect complement to the DHM Stage 3 kit is? A Yoshimura muffler. This thing is just screaming under me. I'm hoping you guys can hear it pretty well. All right, let's give it a pull starting at about 6, second gear. Woo! People are looking at me because this thing is a nuisance. It's so loud. I don't have the baffle in. DHM says don't run the baffle. He's got these things tuned without the baffle. The baffle does make a significant difference. It will make it run a little bit more rich, and it does restrict the exhaust a little bit. So I've taken all the baffles out. Because of that, it's loud. Stage 2 was already loud. Stage 3 is louder, I'm noticing. Alright. But when I go by pedestrians, they turn their heads way before, and they just kind of rubberneck me like this as I go by because it's so freaking loud. There we go, there we go, there we go. Little kid waved at me. Woo! I'm not gonna lie, you guys, this thing is running like a rape tape. Oh my goodness. Guys, I am having the time of his life. No, I don't know if you guys have seen that video or not, that football coach or whatever. No, but guys, really, this is super fun. I didn't think it could be, I don't know, I didn't think it was going to be this much of a difference. Oh wow, got a couple of pretty bikes, pretty dirt bikes here. Guy didn't even look at me. God, you get no respect on a Grom sometimes. I was going to say Mustang, but it was actually a Charger. Now that we've got the high compression piston, it's very important that you run 91 octane fuel. So this is only a 1 gallon tank. When you stop getting fuel and you got 87, there's still some fuel in this hose that's 87. So I don't know how much fuel that is filling this up, maybe 0.1 or 0.2, but that's 0.1 or 0.2 gallons of 87 that you're getting, and then you get the 91. And I want that because I'm OCD. I want that pure 91 hit. But you know what? I think I'm just going to have to settle. For a tiny bit of 87 in the hose and then a hit of 91. Let's see how much goes in. I was blinking, so we'll see. I always fill it up to those 2 bars. Oh. There we go. Okay, so that's definitely a little overfilled, and that's 1 gallon on the button. So you guys, there's my gas spiel. I guess you could do some gas tanks, pre-fill them when you come to the gas station, and then have them at home so you can have the pure 91 in those fuel tanks. But that costs money. I think we're probably going to be fine. I always want to just give you guys food for thought. Remember, there's 87 in this hose.
Getting into the speedruns now, we need to go over some of the speedrun factors. On both runs, the rider, CT Gromer, is 5'11" and 165 to 170 pounds. At the time that the Stage 2 Grom speedrun was shot, it had approximately 2,300 miles on it, and the run was performed September 2019. At the time that the Stage 3 Grom speedrun was shot, it had approximately 4,300 miles clocked, and the run was performed in November of 2020. Both bikes had stock gearing, and all speed runs were performed on a full tank of fuel, on the same road, in the same direction of travel by the same rider. Let's run the DHM Stage 2 speed run first. Here it goes. Okay, now here's the DHM Stage 3 Grom speed run. Here we go.
All right, I'm gonna get into position here and get to 10 miles an hour. Here are the speedrun results. Now, let's unpack these a little bit. One factor to consider is that the Stage 2 Grom run was performed when my Grom had only 2,300 miles on it, versus the Stage 3 run where it had 4,300 miles on it. The Stage 2 run was actually performed in my stock versus modded video, which you can check out if you'd like to see it in the description below. It's actually the last time I did a speedrun on the Grom before the Stage 3 kit. I don't know how much 2,000 miles of hard riding plays into the runs, but it's something to consider nonetheless. I did a series of runs with each motorcycle, and the runs you just saw were the fastest. The Stage 3 Grom was 8.6% faster in the 10 to 55 mile an hour run at 10.14 seconds versus the Stage 2's 11.10 seconds. Again, I believe that the mileage probably factors here a little bit, which assumes that if the Stage 2 run was done at 4,000 miles like the Stage 3 kit was, instead of 2,300 miles, it probably would have been a little slower due to wear and tear, but we'll never know for sure. As for the top speed, simply put, I don't know why the Grom lost top speed with the addition of the high compression piston in Stage 3. At the time of this video, DHM sells the Stage 2 kit for $170 and the Stage 3 kit for $300. So according to these numbers, buying the Stage 3 kit over the Stage 2 kit for an additional $130 yields you an 8 to 10% increase in speed in the 10 to 55 mile an hour run. Is it worth it? You tell me. Now let's look at the pros and cons. The pros are faster than Stage 2, obviously. Overall increase in power at all RPMs, which I definitely feel seat of the pants just riding around. The increased compression is definitely noticeable when you're riding. Engine seems louder. This is true, and maybe to some this is a con, but a louder engine makes it more menacing and powerful if that's what you're going for. For me personally, it just means I need to wear earplugs all the time when I ride. Adds to Grom Mod's resume. This might seem like a stretch to find another pro on the list, but seriously, when you're talking amongst Grom buddies about your list of power mods and you mention the Stage 3 high compression piston and cam, I guarantee people will be curious and it will be a talking point, especially when you're leading the pack everywhere you go. Now for the cons. More expensive at $300 versus $170 for the Stage 2. Almost double the price does not in turn give you double the speed. Must run 91 octane all the time. So prepare for that. Not all pumps have 91 or higher octane. Running low octane can now damage your engine. Potential shorter top end life and dependability. I talk about this all the time. One of the huge selling points of the Grom is its long life and dependability despite the abuse getting thrown at it by millions around the world. Adding more compression adds more stress. More stress can shorten engine life. Make sure you check your oil frequently and change it often. I change mine every 1,000 miles and sometimes sooner. Difficult installation for some. Compared to just dropping a cam into the top end, this is much more involved. You actually have to remove the head, remove the cylinder, replace piston, gaskets, and correctly gap the rings and reassemble. If you're not confident and need to have it professionally done, add 100 or 200 more to the price for a professional install. Well, there you have it, fam. This is my review of the DHM Stage 3 kit compared to the Stage 2 kit. I hope this info helps influence your modding decisions. If you want a refresher or want more information about DHM's Stage 2 kit, go watch my in-depth review. I'll link it in the description below. Well, if you're still watching, it seems like you stuck around so that you could find out why this video took so long to make. This project was like any project undertaken in 2020. If it could go wrong during the production, it did. We had heat waves that kept me off the bike. Work was crazy. Before the heat waves went away, we had the worst fires California has ever seen, with unhealthy and hazardous air quality for almost 2 months straight. And then, when I was finally able to get on the bike, break it in, then do the speed runs, I discovered that the Stage 3 speed runs were slower than Stage 2. I told David Hugh from DHM, and he said that it was probably a bad map on the ECU. So I sent it back, and I had to wait almost 3 weeks before I received an updated map, which took care of the problem, thankfully. So in a nutshell,
That's why this video took so long to get out for you to watch. As usual, thank you so much for sticking in and watching this long. I hope you enjoyed this review and that it's helped you in some way. If you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing. Each subscriber means the world to me and encourages me to keep creating quality content. Do you have a question about or disagreement with something that you saw? Leave a comment. I love interacting with you guys and hearing from you. And though it's getting harder these days, I always respond. Without you guys watching, I don't have a channel at all, so thank you.